This is not how I like to start my day. We are Natalie, Ian and Nelson, and together we live a life less ordinary. And join us each week as we share our adventures with you. So I can show you something you've never seen. And both you and I. Remember this? It's time to get this job finished. Leros Marina. I'm not sure I'm going to get away with doing the kind of work that I did in Meganisi, because they were pretty chilled, and there's a lot more boats here than there are in Meganisi, so I'm thinking I probably won't be able to do everything, but the bits that I can do, woodwork and things like that, that aren't going to offend people, I'm going to crack on with it, and if someone says anything then I'll have to stop, but for now we're doing some woodwork. So yesterday, I didn't film it, I wasn't really in the mood to film stuff, but yesterday I added this piece in. This is a new piece of wood because the old one splintered when I pulled it off. I had to get behind this with a crowbar. So yeah, that piece is unfortunately scrap. I might be able to use some of it for something, but yeah, not to worry. So I had a spare piece. It's Iroko. We don't use teak anymore, so I've now fitted this. This is bonded, it is not screwed. You can see there are no plugs alongside, so this one's screwed in, but this is simply bonded in place with Sikaflex. And the way I did that is the same as I am doing with this one, in that I have located it in position with Gorilla Tape, and that is all that is holding that plank in position. It's Gorilla Tape. So I'm going to use the bottom part to hinge it off. So these pieces here I'll leave on, these I'll undo, I'll hinge the wood down, Sikaflex it, and then because these are all in the right place, I should then be able to fold the wood back up so that, yeah, anyway, you'll see it. It'll probably go massively wrong. If this goes wrong, it's going to be one hell of a mess. Nelson, away, go away, away. The trouble with being deaf is that it doesn't matter what I say to him, he doesn't do it. Okay, so this now will hinge down like so. I can add the Sikaflex in along this bit that I've taped off, and then fold the plank back up, and then it's just a case of wiggling it to make it sit in exactly the right location. That's my plan anyway. And the reason I am going to this much trouble is that I do not want to drill holes into this steel plate, because the stainless steel screws and salt water mixed with steel plate creates corrosion. So my theory, and I pray this is correct, is that I should now be able to fold this plank back up and use the tape to hold it all in position. I'll probably need to add more tape to it, but... And the reason I have had to come up with this ingenious way to attach this plank is that I am on the boat on my own. Nat, at this point in time, is back in the UK with her mother. It's fine. So this tape on the bottom stops me from going too high. So this bit here stops me from going too high with it. And then this will pull it in on the top. Okay, I do believe that is actually going to work. sand this off. So this plank was smoothed out to the old wood roof. So this now is a little bit high here, but the rest of it's okay. So I'll flat this back out. Okay, this could actually work. Fantastic. But bearing in mind I have to sand all this back anyway to varnish it and stuff. I think it's going to be okay. So no screws. I'm going to add some more Gorilla Tape to this so it doesn't pop, but with the suction of the Sikaflex holding it on, it should be okay, hopefully. Gloves. And this stuff's wet already. Wet masking tape is, or can be, a nightmare. So I figured first thing this morning I'd get this off. So next we just need to tidy up the mess. And then this will end up like this, which once the roof has had its final coat of paint and the varnish is put onto the woodwork, should look okay. And we've not screwed into the coach roof this time, so hopefully we don't get the problems with moisture penetrating and a bit more corrosion coming back. There's so many coats of epoxy and fairing material on top of that, it should stay there forever. Forever ever.
I want to say something, but
The light's not on it. Doesn't show how shiny it is. So this is the one I did the other day. This is now fully bonded back in. This one I've screwed in and then plugged it again because this one is into wood. The others, the side panel and the front panel, which I'll show you now, I've bonded them only because I do not want the screws going into the steel panels. Nelson, you need to be out of the way because I am going to get the chimney out and put the chimney on so that we have heating. So this little cap lives in the table here. I don't know why it ended up in here. It's just one of those small things that are easily lost. So yeah, I guess because the firelighters are in here. I don't really know. Alright mate, do you want to go out? Do you want to go out? We go out? Yes? No? Not sure? Can't make up your mind? No? Okay. This episode is sponsored by Chicken Chips. And this short comedy clip that I filmed with Nelson is sadly the last you will see of him. This was filmed 2 days before he passed away. It's not really, but you could have sponsored it had you the foresight. Because Nelson loves his chicken chips. Good old chicken chips. And sadly, after Nelson's demise, with nowhere for me to bury him and for no form of cremation on this island, I took Nelson out to the entrance of Leros and I laid him to rest between the two lighthouses. And sadly, 3 days later, Nat's mum passed away. So I jumped on a plane and went back to the UK. This is not how I like to start my day. And this is my first Christmas back in the UK for 10 years. And we spent December immersed in friends and family before having Nat's mum's funeral on the 23rd of December. And with everything taken care of back in the UK, we have one last thing for us to do, and I promise there will be no more mention of funerals or dying dogs or anything else that is depressing.
We're back.
We are back.
So you may wonder why we've just launched our dinghy on the 9th of January when we're safely tucked up in a marina. That's the reason. We are about to go. Here we go.
We're off to... So Nat's mum came out to visit us in 2019, pre-COVID. First time she spent any time on the boat. She loved yachts and stuff. She'd sailed in Egypt as a child while her father was in the army, and we brought her out to Greece in the Ionian in 2019 and she absolutely loved it. COVID kicked in not long after and she wasn't able to visit us at all during COVID, so her one remaining wish was to visit us really. So she was due to come out with Nat after the London Marathon
in October.
In October of 22. And sadly she had a fall and broke her shoulder. In the checkups that followed the breaking of the shoulder, the hospital found some additional problems that led to basically it was a cancer diagnosis, and sadly for Nat's mum, she didn't get to visit the boat. Yeah, she didn't get to come out again. So Nat and her twin sister decided that they would bring the ashes back to Greece, which we did when we returned in January. And
Ta-da!
Nat's mum. So we are going out to scatter Nat's mum's ashes in the same location that I buried Nelson.
Moomin's Greek Odyssey.
Yeah, so it's a final goodbye to... So it's a final goodbye to Nat's mum, basically. We're going to go out and scatter the ashes now. And part of the reason we're putting this out on video is that Nat's mum loved the videos. She only ever got to feature in one of them. Now she's featuring in two of them. Yeah. COVID was a sad state of affairs. It messed up everybody's lives, and it really stopped Nat's mum from coming out to visit us. It stopped us from going back to visit her. What can I say? Everybody was in the same position. Yes. Nobody could travel, and yeah, it's only fitting now that we take Nat's mother out to her final resting place in Greece,
Enjoying the Greek sunshine
where she wanted to be.
and the blue sky.
Anyway, come along with us. Oh, and the other thing, I'm going to release the video with Nat's mum in it. Was a private video that's just for sort of friends and family, really. We weren't releasing videos for Joe Public back then, and I'm going to change. At the moment, it's set to private. I'm going to release it as a video, which means that it's going to come up like out of synchronization, if you know what I mean. So it'd be like episode 48, I think it was, or something like that. We're on 150 now, so it's going to look a little bit weird, but I don't care. So yeah, that video is going to be set to unlisted, which means not unlisted, no, public. Yeah. So that video is going to be set to public, which means anyone can watch it, which I think your mum would like.
As you know, we don't generally drink wine, so this is a free bottle that was given to us at the fruit and veg shop, but Moomin wanted a glass of wine in a Greek taverna.
It's as close as we can get.
Yamas!
Yamas.
Yamas is cheers in Greek.
Moomin.
To Moomin. And Nelson.
That's mum. Rest in peace.
And for the Admiral. Look after each other.
This spot in Leros is the entrance to Lackey Harbour, and there's two lighthouses, one over there and one over there. And this is where I laid Nelson to rest. I had to bring him out in a dinghy and with a length of chain and a small anchor, and push him over the side because there were no disposal facilities for pets, etc. on this island. You're left to your own devices. Obviously we don't own any land here, so we couldn't bury him. So yeah, I had to bring him back here, and then unfortunately he is 80 metres down. So our final goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye.
And Nat, how's that romantic image of living on an old boat feel now?
You crocheting yourself some new pants.
Yeah. Some new fishnet tights.
Nice. Classy. Should get some views off the back of that then. And once again, a big shout out to our monthly contributors, David, Captain Svetlana, Bill and Liam McKenna. And thank you Tim Griffin for a recent contribution. And a really big shout out to our Patreon supporters, Matt Clark, Ian Firth Clark, Michael Barry, sir, thank you. Our new supporter, Miles Povey, Parr, I'm not going to attempt that surname. Thank you all for your help making these videos. And if anyone else out there is interested in helping with the making of these videos, please find the links for Ko-fi and Patreon in the description down below. Thank you for watching. Hopefully we will see you again next week.